Okay then gang, so far we've been making commits and tracking our project files, but there's going to come a time when we don't want Git to track something in our project folder, right? And that's where the .gitignore files come into play. So then what exactly is a gitignore file? Well, imagine you're working on a project and you're using a code editor like VS Code, which creates its own .vs Code folder with your personal settings. Now, these files aren't really a part of your actual project, they're just clutter that gets generated automatically by VS Code. And if Git tracks them, then you're going to end up with commits that are full of irrelevant files, and that's pretty annoying for anyone else working on the project and yourself. The same would be true for something like a node modules folder. We don't want Git to be tracking folders like that because it's just clutter. Even worse, you could accidentally commit sensitive information like API keys or passwords or database credentials from within a .env file. And then if you ever publish this repository online using something like GitHub, you would be exposing those things. So there are cases when you don't want Git to track certain things, and we'd write those things inside a gitignore file. And that's all a gitignore file is. It's a special file that Git can read, and it tells Git which files and folders to completely ignore. So let's first of all add a new file called notes.txt inside the project. And let's imagine these are just going to be some notes that I make about the project, and I don't really want this file to be tracked by Git. It's just for me. So currently, if we now run git status, you should see that Git detects the file, but as of yet, it's not been tracked. However, if we were making changes to the project and then ran the git add command with a dot, that would include all the changes and new files to the staging area, including the one that we just created, the notes one. But like I just said, I don't want Git to track that file. So let's create a .gitignore file in the root of this project, and we're going to use it to tell Git not to track that file. And notice it starts with a dot. Don't forget that. Okay, so now I'm going to run git status again, and we'll see two new untracked files waiting to be staged. However, in the gitignore file, I'm now going to add the notes.txt file just like this and save it. And then once I've done that, you're going to notice that the file isn't highlighted in the file tree anymore. And also, if we run git status again, you can see it's been completely removed from the list. And now we just see the gitignore file that we just made. So then now I'm going to run git add and then a dot to add all the changes to the staging area. Once I've done that, I'm going to run git status again just to make sure only the gitignore file got added and not the notes file. Awesome. All right, so finally, I'll make a commit for this change by running git commit, and we're going to use the m flag to add on a message, and that message can be something like, I don't know, add gitignore file. All right, awesome. So now we're committing this gitignore file to history, which itself tells Git to completely ignore the notes file. So any changes ever made to this file now, they're not going to be tracked. Okay, so we can add many different file paths to the gitignore file, and we can also add folders. So, for example, say we want to ignore the whole .vs Code folder, which sometimes gets generated by VS Code to store certain settings. And this isn't something that needs to be committed to the project history, it's just clutter. So we could add that folder to the gitignore file by saying .vs Code, then a / at the end to say this is a folder and everything inside it should be ignored. You could also add .env to this file, which we don't actually have, but just in case we did, then Git wouldn't track that either now. Other common files you might not want to track are .log files, so anything ending with a .log extension. So we could tell Git to ignore those by adding an asterisk first of all, then .log, and the asterisk is essentially a wildcard that matches any file name, so long as it has this .log extension at the end. So now every file which ends with .log would be ignored too. You could add package folders like a node modules one if you wanted, plus other things as well. All right, so now we've added some of these, let's make a commit in the project history. First, we're going to stage the file by saying git add, and we could write out the file name, .gitignore, but I generally use a dot because it's much quicker to write, and then I'm going to hit enter. Next, we want to make a commit by running the git commit command with the m flag to add a message, and that can say something like update gitignore file. All right, cool. So now we've got a gitignore file for this project, and it might be that as the project expands, we just add more to this file. Now, you can actually find gitignore templates for a bunch of different kinds of projects online, on personal sites, coding sites, and also on GitHub itself. So this list right here was created by GitHub themselves, and you can see they've got a ton of different templates. For example, you can scroll down to see they've made a Flutter template down here somewhere, which if you click on, you're going to see. And that file contains all the things you probably wouldn't want to add to your project history when you're making commits. So you would just basically copy this gitignore file and paste it into your own. Also, when you use some kind of CLI tool to scaffold a new project using a framework like Flutter or Vue or Next, a lot of the time it auto-generates a pre-populated gitignore file for you. Not always, but sometimes it does. And then you can just add to it as you go along. Anyway, now hopefully you understand what this file is for. And in the next lesson, we're going to take a look at some of the built-in Git features within VS Code itself, which can make our Git workflow a little bit smoother.